Is Michigan's head coach overrated?
Well, this is the thing. In college, you're picking the talent. Now, I know Trent Baalke, he picked all the talent, had the dispute with Harbaugh in San Francisco, but they were talented. Offense, defense, it's not like Jim Harbaugh didn't have talent there. In college, you're the general manager. You're your own boss. So he's picking all the talent. So everyone's like, oh, he can't get a quarterback. Well, you're recruiting him. If you sleep on the couch with a kicker, won't you just maybe pull up to the doorstep of maybe a quarterback? All right, as a former quarterback, when you get that position wrong, and I don't see the impact. Jim Harbaugh is overrated as an offensive coordinator, is overrated as an offensive coach. Tell me, when was the last play that they've run at Michigan you're like, wow, that was a good play? Because I watched Oklahoma last night, and they ran 20 plays, and I was like, goodness gracious, that would be hard to defend. I don't see that with Michigan. I don't see the overall work with the quarterback. So for me, it's just a matter of time in Ann Arbor. The best place that he's finished is third. I believe he'll be there another 2 years and then back to the NFL.
On his own volition? Like me?
No, they're not going to fire him.
Okay, but back to the NFL because the college, the picking the talent, is that the biggest issue you have with his ability?
Well, he's not creative. He doesn't have creative power offensively, all right? People have caught up to the style that he's running, and he can't develop a quarterback. And when you can't do that in college, it's going to be hard to win.
Listen, I have been a buyer of Jim Harbaugh for a long time.
But why, though?
I was about to tell you. I was very impressed with what he did at San Francisco and what happened in San Francisco after he left.
Trent Baalke drafted the players, though.
I get that, but I thought his development of Colin Kaepernick was extraordinary. You mentioned that that he's not a creative play caller. Cap was a big part of that, but some of the things they did, most notably in the playoff game against Green Bay, hell, taking out an Alex Smith quarterback team to an NFC championship game. Alex Smith playing the best football of his career up to that point.
How many years ago was that, Nick?
You asked me why I was a buyer on him.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was explaining. That was his previous job to this. Like, he did a great job at Stanford. Stanford had been, we look at Stanford now as a premier program in college football. We didn't look at that prior to Jim Harbaugh getting there. Jim Harbaugh, to me, helped build Stanford into that. I then saw what he did with San Francisco, and San Francisco fall off the map after. I thought this would be a perfect fit at Michigan. I didn't expect him to do what Urban Meyer did, which is what? Urban's first year, they went 12-0? Is that what they did?
I can't remember.
I think you do remember. So. They were on probation, so they couldn't participate in the postseason, but they went 12-0. I didn't think he'd do that. But, man, I thought by year 2 or year 3, they would be competing for national championships. They haven't even been competing for Big Ten championships.
I think the best that they finished in their division is third.
Yes, that's correct.
So do you
for one of the best coaches in college football.
I'm not ready.
Based on this.
But you can laugh, but you don't act as if I'm the only person.
All
that
the great universities, when they get the right coach, they win. Alabama was a loser. They got Nick Saban, they won. Florida wasn't doing anything. They got Urban Meyer, they won. Ohio State, we were doing good. Got Urban Meyer, we kept on winning. Why all of a sudden? Oklahoma, they got a new coach. They won. Georgia, they got Kirby Smart.
The Oklahoma example and the Ohio State example, I think, is totally fair because they were already winning. When Jim Harbaugh got to Michigan, he was taking over a program that I think was in somewhat disarray. Is that? Do you disagree?
Brady Hoke, his record is the same as Hart. Isn't it the same?
The records are nearly identical. That is true. But I didn't think the talent was there. And again, I say all that to say this. Next year is the most critical year of Jim Harbaugh's coaching career in my memory. Next year, there is no more of excuse. There is no more my players aren't here, my quarterback's not here. Next year, I don't know that they have to beat Ohio State, but they have to be competing for their division, competing for a championship, or else I was wrong about Jim Harbaugh. I don't think it's fair to say yet he's way overrated. He's not as good a coach as people think, but he has not performed up to that level, certainly this year at Michigan.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.